We get the thoughts of the Makabayan bloc on the courtesy resignations at the PNP as well as the West Philippine Sea issue. House Deputy Minority Leader Representative Castro joins us. Good evening. Ma'am, first off, a recent poll shows 84% of Filipinos want the government to work with the U.S. in defending the West Philippine Sea, and it also says Filipinos want the support of other countries like Japan, Australia, the UK, and South Korea. So how do you think the Marcos administration should respond to these findings?
Well, so the Marcos administration should be serious. Take this as serious information from our citizen. And if ever the Marcos administration is also serious in relating to China, especially now that that our president went to China to meet the president for the bilateral agreements. I think 14 bilateral agreements. So the Marcos administration should be transparent to the Filipino people, and also the problems of the West Philippine Sea, our problems with the West Philippine Sea. So the Marcos administration should be transparent to the Filipino people, and whatever agreement or whatever agreement or compromise that the Marcos administration is having with China as regard to the West Philippine Sea. It should be transparent.
All right. Aside from transparency, how will national
fishermen continue their work in the West Philippine Sea?
Well, aside from transparency, how do you think will national interest be protected if and when the Philippines continues joint exploration talks with China in the West Philippine Sea?
Yes, we should see the loan agreements. We should see the deal, so that it would not be the same with the Chico Dam, wherein the agreements with the previous administration has this secret or has a confidential clause. So there should be no confidential clause in any agreement that the Marcos administration would push through with the China, so that the Filipino people would have would scrutinize and see and study this agreement.
So again, transparency is important. Now, President Marcos and Mr. Xi vowed to find a compromise. What should be the non-negotiables?
So the non-negotiable should be first, the China should follow the arbitral ruling in the West Philippine Sea. So that would be the first, and of course, the administration should protect our sovereign or our exclusive economic zone in the West Philippines.
Do you think that Mr. Marcos is doing enough to advance the country's interest in the West Philippine Sea?
Well, there are problems, or there are incidents wherein there are encroachment in the West Philippine Sea that he only follows the method or the strategy done by the previous administration. So there's no difference.
Okay, so on another topic though, your reaction to the courtesy resignations of the PNP chief and members of his command group?
I think that is very arbitral. So if the PNP chief, the Secretary of Department of Interior and Local Government has this evidences for the generals or colonel to have been involved in the drug cases, they should have filed it and let the due process roll in these cases. And of course, if they really would like to find justice, especially those Filipinos who were extrajudicially killed in the war on drugs during the previous administration. So this administration, the Marcos administration, should open the investigation by the ICC.
So do you believe that the assessment, it sounds like you don't believe that the assessments of PNP officers will be objective and apolitical. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yes, I think this action by the Secretary of the DILG is just, I think this is just a smoke screen for the ano no for those era for the real situation.
Okay.
This would also ano no demoralize those good cops or generals or colonel
Well,
in the service.
a lot of leaders have come and go, but the illegal drug problem is still there. So why do you think that's the case?
Because I think there are ano no there are enforcers who are really involved, like the PIDEA, the PNP.
Mm-hmm.
So the government should ano no should investigate, and also the justice system should be improved so that the claim of the secretary of ano no the secretary of the DILG that the judicial system is very low, very slow. Yeah.
All right.
So the justice system should be improved.
Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts. House Deputy Minority Leader Franz Castro.